Now our last section says that I can apply integer operations to real world situations. We're only going to work out a couple of these because I figure that you should be able to do a few of them. So we're going to start off doing number 31. Number 31 says that one February day, the low temperature in St. Paul, Minnesota was negative 17 degrees. So that is where we are starting. That number has to go first. It says over a period of 3 hours, the temperature rose 5 degrees per hour. After 3 hours, what was the temperature? So because it's rising, I know that I'm going to be adding something. But what am I going to be adding? Well, it tells me that I'm going to have 3 hours where the temperature rose 5 degrees per hour. So I need to find that first. How much did it rise? Well, I'm going from negative 17 plus 15 because 3 times 5 is 15. So I have an addition problem where my signs are different, so I'm going to subtract. 17 minus 15 is 2. And then I look at my absolute value of my numbers, and negative 17 has the largest absolute value, so my answer is going to be negative 2 degrees. And that is our answer on that one. When I look at number 32, it says water has a freezing point of 32 degrees. Mercury has a freezing point that is 70 degrees lower. What is the freezing point of mercury? Well, it says water has a freezing point of 32 degrees. That's where I am starting. Then it says mercury has a freezing point that is 70 degrees lower. Well, what does lower mean? That means it's smaller, which means I'm going to be subtracting. So 32 minus 70. I cannot take 70 away from 32, so we have to do our stay, change, because it is subtraction. So we're going to have 32 plus a negative 70. Now the rules for addition tell me that if my signs are different, I subtract. So I go 70 minus 32, and we can write it like this if we need to. I have to borrow from the 7 and make it a 6. So 10 minus 2 is 8. 6 minus 3 is 3. And then we go back and we look at, well, 70 has the greater absolute value, so my answer needs to be negative. So it's negative 38 degrees. And that is my answer. I want to look at number 36. Number 36 says that a stock market fell 75 points over a period of 5 days. What is the average change in the stock market each day? Well, I'm starting with 75 points, but it fell 75 points, so my number has to be negative 75 points. It says over a period of 5 days. What is the average? So remember that to find the average, we have to divide by 5. So our rules for division is we divide and then keep the sign. If the signs are different, the answer is negative. If the signs are the same, the answer is positive. Well, I know that my numbers are different, my signs are different, so my answer has to be negative in the end. So now I just have to divide 75 divided by 5. 5 goes into 7 one time. 7 minus 5 is 2. 5 goes into 25. 5 times 5 is 25. So my answer is 15, but since I knew that my answer had to be negative, then my answer is a negative 15. Number 37, it says, in a card game, the winner must have a sum greater than -3 in order to win. So the key important in that first sentence is this word sum. Tells me that I'm going to add. It says, what is the sum of the 4 cards below, and did the person win? So we have to look at, there are a lot of things going on. I need an answer greater than -3, and I need to know if they won or not after we add them together. So we're going to add these numbers together. I'm going to start with these two. 6 plus -8. Since it's an addition problem, signs are different, we subtract. 8 minus 6 is 2. 8 had the bigger absolute value, so my answer has to be negative. Now I'm going to add this to the -3. That's what comes next. Well, if you notice, my signs are the same, so I can just add 2 plus 3 is 5. And so because 2 plus 3 is 5, my answer stays negative because they were both negative. And now I need to add 4. Well, remember when we're adding, if the signs are different, we keep the sign of the larger absolute value after we subtract. Well, 5 minus 4 is 1. The negative sign with the 5 tells me that my answer has to be negative. But now I have to figure out, did the person win? Is -1 greater than -3? So if I were to draw a number line, then I would have 0, -1, -2, -3. And we're looking at this point and this point. Remember, as I go to the right, my numbers get bigger. So is -1 greater than -3? And that answer was yes. So yes, they won. I hope this helps. Good luck on your test tomorrow. Y'all should be fine. Y'all are doing really good with this. I'm really proud of how y'all have been doing, and I guess I'll see y'all tomorrow.